This podcast was edited and uploaded by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, welcome everyone to the Driven Geeb Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Host Drip Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can check out me, Uncle Geeb, at twitch.tv/Uncle Geeb or Drip at twitch.tv/Drip Media. Drip, how are you doing this week?
I thought you were going to do it. You almost had it.
Oh, I messed
that
it up?
That intro was so close. You had one little flub. You said, I don't know. You said I don't know what you did. It was something when you were.
It was. I started off. Instead
so
of saying
close.
Instead of saying twitch.tv/Drip Media, I said Drip Twitch.
Drip. Drip. Whatever,
Drip.twitch.
That was really good.
Drip.twitch. I was going to say until I stopped myself. Drip.twitch. If that's not proof of my dyslexia, I don't know what is.
That's it right there.
It's legit.
I'm doing fine though, man. I'm doing great. I can't complain, man. Life is good, you know? We're just doing things, you know? We're doing things.
We're doing things. I'm doing things. We talked about that before we went live.
Yeah.
You don't
doing things.
You don't remember, do you?
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Birds and bees? Does that help you?
Oh my God. You know what? That's what she said. Whatever.
Hey!
You know what? Anyway. Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I mean, I don't know. I guess from what I am told, we're starting this podcast at 8:22 Eastern.
Yep, about.
So I guess last I checked, outside it is raining. But from what I'm told, by the time this podcast is over, all that will be ice.
Oh,
yeah.
You're as cold as ice. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's bad news. I love
Yeah,
that song.
I mean,
bro,
whatever.
I got that album on vinyl, bro. Okay, we should stop. I would like to keep singing that song. That's for the after show, folks. Patreon.com/Uncle Geeb and Patreon.com/Drip Media Gaming. That's what we're doing. We're just gonna sing. I'm gonna put that vinyl on. We're just gonna sing. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm just gonna play air guitar.
20 minutes of us singing. How about that?
Yes, it's a great after show. How are you? How has your week been? What have you been doing?
My new schedule these days, I pretty much, so I kind of break it down like this. So I work 25 hours a week at my day job, quote unquote, part time, and I leave there by noon. And what that does is free me up for the afternoon to do things on the content creation side of things. I can officially say at this point, it's kind of exciting, even though I'm not really making money quite yet, but I can officially say that I am
nobody needs money.
I'm a part-time content creator, like officially. Like I'm doing things. It's not really resulting into money yet, but like I still consider I'm working about 15 to 20 hours a week on all this stuff, all of it put together. And hopefully I'm working more hours in the future. And I would like to completely replace my day job with this. But this is the first baby step. Thus far, I've been a hobbyist. But I'm taking it very seriously now with the new computer and everything else. I'm taking it very seriously. Like YouTube videos are going to start coming out. You'll see them soon. March 1st is that date I set for myself. I'm going to beat that date by a lot, I think. But that's the date I set for myself for the first YouTube.
You've already recorded and started editing.
Yeah, exactly. It's halfway done.
Yeah, if you don't get out before March 1st now, what the like we need to sit down and talk about your editing because something's wrong.
Well, like I said, I want to get like a backlog. So like the first one is only halfway done edited, but I want a backlog. But like we're doing the podcast stuff. We got some projects going on, like you and I, beyond the Drip and G podcast.
We do.
It's with an S now, which is fun to say. Like it's not just one that we're working on. Hopefully they all come to fruition, but obviously we're not telling you guys anything yet because it could not go through. It's possible.
Yeah, there's fun stuff that's possible right now. It's very exciting stuff, but we don't have any concrete information to give right now. But
yes,
hopefully we will have some. Maybe next week, maybe later. I don't know, but fun stuff in the works for sure. I'm really excited about all that.
Yeah. So not just on a me level, like an us level. We got stuff coming in the future, and you're like trying to like. No, I always said reboot. You're not trying to reboot your YouTube. You were trying to refresh your YouTube with a fresh new coat of paint.
Well, we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of opened up a little bit. I feel like I laid it out on the table last week. I'm not doing what I was doing anymore. And my video this week, I did other things. I was upstairs. I got some bang out of the refrigerator. I didn't do a whole lot, but I mean, it felt good because even that small little sequence of me just getting that bang out of the refrigerator, it's just something different. And you know what?
Yeah.
The entire video is, I'm going to be honest, the entire video is completely fucked because I sat on the couch and it was 9 in the morning. And I know what happens at
Yeah.
9 in the morning. I know exactly
Yeah.
what happens.
I
The
felt
sun
yeah.
comes over those houses right across from mine. It comes it happens every morning. Don't know why. I didn't think about that. Halfway through, I got it. And then it was still messed up.
Yeah.
My biggest Here's the thing. My biggest thing about not doing that is still the reason. This is the reason why. Because while I do have a very nice camera, I love my camera. At the time when I bought this camera, it was for photography. I didn't really care what the screen did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really, really need a camera that the screen just flips out. I'm gonna sell this thing. I need to get the Sony A7C. It's literally this camera in a smaller body, and it has a flip out screen and no record limit, no record time limit. So this one has a 30-minute limit. That one doesn't. But it's
Huh.
literally all the same stuff inside.
Nice. Nice, man.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I'm gonna get it's a $1,700 body. So
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
which is cheap compared to this one, it's cheap. I need to just I mean, I could probably sell this one, but then I'm out of, it gets confusing. It's like I got to sell this one to get that one. But
right.
then I have to sell this one and then buy the other one, and then there's a point where I don't have this one, which is an issue. I need
Right.
this one still. So it's
Right.
like
Right.
I don't know how to navigate that really.
Yeah. Well, no good segue, but this week we're gonna get right to the beer of the week, sir. Are you?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Would we want to? We want to start real fast with a quick listener beer of the week submitted on Twitter at DripGeeb.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, man. I was looking for that. I wasn't ready. Who? Where is it? It's gone. It's gone forever from the ether. These are last week's. For realsies, I had them.
There's one there. There's one there.
Yeah, we'll get to this first one. Right here. I think I just need to refresh my browser, but we'll get to this one first. Tyson from January 27th. Thank you, dude, for submitting that beer of the week. Not too happy with your submission, I gotta say.
Absolute crap.
So
Garbage.
Tyson submitted a very unknown beer in a blue can with big white letters. It's called a Bud Light.
It's garbage. Trash. Trash beer.
Now, hold on. Let me just say, I can appreciate a good Budweiser.
Me too. Me too.
Yes. Bud Light is not something I'm gonna touch.
No, Bud Light is awful. Let me tell you my beer journey as far as like regular beers that I drank. Literally from the time that I started drinking, I started on Budweiser, right? That's what I drank. Like, I drank a lot of other stuff and I still drink a lot of other stuff, but it's like you have that one beer. It's like if you're just gonna, hang out with your buddies, whatever, you grab, a 6-pack of Budweiser, whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
I went from that to Coors Light to Busch Light. But dude, back in the day when I used to smoke, dude, I mean, it was all red things for me. Budweiser and Marlboro Reds, dude. I was a straight up cowboy. Straight up.
Well, are you cowboy still?
Sometimes, I don't have a hat or anything, but I don't know. I borrowed my brother's cowboy boots one time.
That's fun.
They stayed here for a long time, so I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself a cowboy anymore. I used to be a Marlboro man, no longer. I don't smoke, man. Don't smoke.
I visited Tennessee when I was young because I have family out there, and my dad bought me in 7th grade, my little tiny head at the time, bought me a cowboy hat that I still have. I don't know where. It's probably in my parents' stuff in their house, but like it's like a size like 6, 7, 8, like like 6, 7/8. You know what I mean? Hat size. Like it
6 and 7/8.
Yes, it does not fit me anymore. I have, but it sits on the top of my little bald head. But I do have a cowboy hat, believe it or not.
That's awesome. I used to have one too. I had a black one.
Yeah.
And it had one of those like those like braided like leather ropes that are like round.
Yeah.
So it had that around it, but it was all like multicolored braided rope.
Yeah.
It looked sick, man. It was a black hat.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a weird kid, dude. I was a weird kid.
Let me go with mine first, and then we'll get to the next listener, and then we'll finish off with you. Sound good?
Yeah, no, because mine's not cool. Is yours new?
No. The
It's not
the
new?
cool one's the listeners. Maybe we should go with the last one. Or the listener should be last then. Let's go with you then. If you say yours is not cool. Go for it.
It is cool, but it's a rehash. We're going further into the
Yeah.
further in.
I rehash all the time, so it's nothing new.
Okay. Here's what's going on. I have the Matt Moran beer.
Hey, Matt Moran beer.
Again, but now it is carbonated. It is ready to go.
Oh, if you guys remember, what was that? Last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So then he actually brought some up last week, and it still wasn't carbonated because he's like, it's been in my garage. It's been so cold. It hasn't had a chance to do it. So he brought a bunch here.
Yeah.
We've left it in my basement where it's like room temperature.
Right.
I shook one up earlier. Definitely carbonated. We're good to go.
All right, man. Do you have a bottle opener? Look at you. You don't need to use your teeth or your desk. Or what did you use one time? You used some gaming accessory one time.
Oh no, I used the lens cap to my camera.
Lens cap. Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
That was nifty. It was nifty. Wow, that sound.
Did you hear that?
Oh,
Did you hear that?
Oh, dude, I heard that sound. I heard it a lot, and it made me happy.
Oh, it worked. Okay, here we go. First actual taste of the beer.
Let's
Full
go.
on. This
Let's
is exciting.
go.
It's exciting.
That was a loud sound. Like, it probably is very carbonated.
Holy crap. Yeah, look.
Yeah, man, look at that. It's got some head on that. We're on camera.
Oh, let me.
Yeah, hide your face. There it is. Okay, look at that beauty.
Yeah, dude, it's happening. Dude, it's great. That's exactly what I was missing. Oh my god, it's so good.
That's awesome, dude. Love it.
Yes, plasma rain.
Remind us of the flavor.
It is a blue raspberry sour, and my god, with a little bit of carbonation, we've come a long way. We have come a long way. Let me tell you that right now.
Carbonation makes the world go round. Let me tell you, like, dude, amazing.
Holy shit. That's amazing. What a difference that is. That is so good now.
Is it
Not that
legal?
it was bad before.
Is it legal to like hide a beer in the package you're gonna ship me?
I'll just do it. It's fine. I don't give a
But then I don't want to get
the laws don't apply to me.
But what if it gets taken away and then we lose everything?
Because I'll wrap it in something. I'll put it inside one of the cases I send you. It's totally fine.
Or what if it breaks open and destroys everything? Maybe you shouldn't.
Won't do that because I know how to pack a package.
I believe you, but listen, it's not always up to you.
You know that you realize that was my job for a long time.
Actually, I don't.
Packing packages.
Interesting.
Yeah, when I worked at my dad's place.
Yeah.
Like I literally boxed everything that went out of the door.
Oh, okay.
And I was boxing big cylinder heads, like
Yeah.
huge ones.
Oh,
and they
man.
are
legit. That's like it's heavy stuff, automotive stuff.
Yeah, like you had to really be careful about how you're packaging things, and not light stuff. I'm sure that I can get one beer across the country. Very sure of that. Wouldn't worry about it.
Unless someone like me who works at Amazon, not that you're sending through Amazon, but I worked at Amazon and dealt with packages, and the Amazon workers who are underpaid and underappreciated don't give a fuck, and we kick and throw our packages into our cages before we drop them off because we're mad.
It's okay because there's going to be bubble wrap around this whole thing.
There was plenty of times in that we called them the B bins because they were the lowest bins. They were ground level bins, or just above ground because of B. And those are the bins that the stowers, people who stowed the packages away for us pickers to pick, that they would not give a fuck either because they were given not enough time to do their job, so they would stuff all their stuff in the B bins and became the B bins became like a the B bins anyway. My beer of the week, forgetting about that, as in like we hate the B bins, and every time they ask how can we make your life better, how can we what do they used to say, how can we, I don't know, they had their slogan that our managers ask us, how can we make your experience better at Amazon? Fix the B bins. Fix the B bins.
Fix the B bins.
I was there for 3.5 years. Guess what never got fixed?
The B-bins, right?
Yeah.
I got to text Matt Moran right now.
Anywho, I got another oldie but goodie. The Cryo Hero, a.k.a. the Anti-Hero. I was going to do this. I forgot. I'm a professional. The Anti-Hero Cryo Hero beer looks amazing. The can has...
Oh, it looks like Mr. Freeze.
It looks like... is that from Dragon Ball? Mr. Freeze?
Oh, it's from Batman.
Oh, Mr. Freeze. Oh, that Mr. Freeze. It looks like the guy, the villain from Dragon Ball.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
What's this Parallax? You know the name of this, the villain from Dragon Ball who looks like that?
I don't know, man. The
Kamijo?
thing on his head, that thing on his
Komodo?
head tells me that's Mr. Freeze. And I'm pretty sure that's a bunch of frost on his hand. That's Mr. Freeze.
So this is
I can tell you right now.
This is the anti-hero, even though it's the Kansas cryo hero. This is the themed. So this is a very visual can. It looks awesome. It's got a superhero on it. Come check it out, the video version of this podcast. 7.3 alcohol. Howling with glacial hop intensity.
Howling with it?
Howling with glacial hop intensity. It is delicious.
Yeah,
it's
hype
very,
in the chat for the howling
yes.
intensity.
Hop noggin. Yes, it's a very, very hoppy beer indeed. It's a delicious beer. It's very, very hoppy. If you like hops, you love the anti-hero, come check it out. I believe the colors are kind of inspired by the Chicago flag as well, because I believe this is local Revolution Brewing. So yeah, oldie but goodie.
They're not. They're inspired by Mr. Freeze.
Sure.
Because I'm telling you, that's Mr. Freeze, dude.
Okay, this is not Mr. Freeze. This is a Scotch. Scotch. Need I say more? This is not my favorite, but a good stand-in if there's nothing else. Parallax Puddles, thank you for submission. At Drip Geeb on Twitter, beer of the week. Single malt Scotch whiskey. The Balvenie. Hey, it's
the
a
Balvenie.
The Balvenie. The Balvenie. Double wood, matured in 2 distinct casks, aged 12 years. So it's the beverage of the week. From the listener, Parallax. Thank you again for your submission. Appreciate you, sir. Estimated 1892. This whiskey. So you guys, the whiskey fans out there, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. That's not the one. By the way,
he said it's not his favorite,
That's
so
not.
probably didn't cost $1 billion.
That's not what he brought me. Yes, that's not the one. You said it. You said it might be, but that I can tell you for sure that's not the one.
Yes. Thank you, Parallax. So we didn't really talk about what the order we want to go in. I have an idea, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the.
Hey, you're the host. You're the host of this thing, man.
Hopefully you guys checked out last week or this week actually. Earlier this week we recorded a podcast. What do we call it? Wait, hold my beer. I'm a professional. We did a whole episode with Tyson. Thank you, Tyson, for coming on again. Bagoof in the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Bombed in the chat. So we're gonna start off with some more Pokemon, but. We're gonna segue nicely. What tonight's gonna be talking about, what we're talking about, is sales, and what's the word? Better word than sales?
Numbers.
We're
talking about numbers. We're talking about sales numbers. That's
sales numbers.
Nintendo had an investors meeting clearly in the middle of the night. I didn't even realize it was going on, but like usually, that's the thing that I know that's happening.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning to all these numbers, and I was like, holy shit, wow, wow. It's like just as a whole, before we even get into all this stuff, on an individual level, Nintendo is absolutely just crushing right now. It's insane. It's insane, dude.
It's funny to talk about all these acquisitions
that they're on right now. Is just that's what I'm saying. Like all these acquisitions, it's like, yeah, it's cool. Nintendo's just like, I don't know. Pokemon, here you go.
You guys like
Metroid.
You guys are $15 a month for Game Pass. How about like $60 a game? We're selling what's the number? We're selling 1.43 million copies in just 3 days in Japan. Pokemon Legends Arceus, 1.43 million units in 3 whole days.
That's absolutely insane.
Just in Japan. Come on, guys. That's a $60 game. Physical. That's physical sales, right? Because they don't release their digital stuff for a while.
They don't even release digital stuff, I don't think. Well, no, they will. They'll do it on their
quarterly, I think.
Their end. Okay, but listen, here's the thing. Now, I found this out last night, and I thought this was absolutely insane. Just in the UK, Pokemon Legends Arceus sold more in what was it? Was it the week?
Yep.
The first week sold more in the first week than Animal Crossing. And we're talking about the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was buying Animal Crossing. Everybody was buying Animal Crossing. It was insane.
Thank you, Nintendo Life, for this article that we're using right now. And I'm going to go ahead and read this little passage. For perspective, that puts it in second place in launch sales rankings behind Animal Crossing New Horizons, which sold 1.88 millions in a 3-day period. In the first
So technically, it's behind Animal Crossing
in
right
the
now. But in the UK, it beat Animal Crossing.
only in the first 3 days. And then
Oh, okay.
and then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is knocked down to 3rd place now, that managed to do $1.39 million in sales in 3 days, which that's also insane. I can't believe that also, like Pokemon, you add up those 2 Pokemon titles in 3 days, you got almost 5 million sales in 3 days, 6 days worth.
Ridiculous,
Recent,
dude.
like that game came out 2
absolutely
months
ridiculous
ago.
to think about.
Unreal. Pokemon is just killing right now. And
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't played that game, by the way. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
I don't need to play the game.
Dude, it's great. It's a great game. The Arceus is so much better. I'm not even going to go there, but I'm saying
exactly.
But like, it's fun.
No,
it's fun.
That's it. End of conversation. Nope. It's not. It's a regular ass Pokemon game. I'm good on a regular ass Pokemon game. This Arceus is amazing. I'm not going to go back into it again. I feel like I've talked about it 1,000 times at this point. But dude, it's amazing. It's so much fun.
I agree. It's fun. It's so much fun. I played more today. I didn't play the second boss, but I got close.
So I messed up. I'll tell you this before we move on to whatever else we're going to talk about here. I'll tell you this. I messed up because I wanted to talk about the second boss on our podcast earlier this week. So I rushed through the second area. Rushed through it. I didn't catch anything. I was just rushing through, trying to get to the boss.
Yep.
Now, I'm at a point now, because this is important. You have to do that stuff. The whole point of getting the stars and doing the stuff and doing the thing is that's how you move on. You have to complete the Pokedex to move on. Or not complete it, but you have to get it to a certain point.
Yes.
And I skipped all that stuff. And now I had to go back. And I even went last night. I played for like an hour last night just trying to go back, catch some more Pokemon. I was like, maybe I can get like 4 or 5 more. I ended up getting like 13, 14 more. Still not enough. Went back to the mean lady at the desk. She is so mean, dude. She's so mean. I don't remember her name, but she's so mean. She still was like, no, you're not done. So I have to go back out again. But I wanted to have that information for the podcast. So right now, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get the Pokemon I need so I can move on. Like, I know where I'm supposed to go next. I've talked to, I have all the information. I just can't get it to go to the next mission because I don't have enough stuff in the Pokedex. That's my issue right now.
Yeah, I need to add some stuff as well. I have some like early tasks, things I still need to do. Like I think I need to fill out the Wurmple. I need to catch more Starlies. Like there's more things I need to do. I kind of dislike that portion of this, that part of this game. What if I don't want to? Like, can I just keep going?
The fact that it's required, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Like
I thought we'd still just roll with the story.
Some of them are fun. Some of them are fun. Some of them I've enjoyed doing. I can't catch a big enough ferret boy, whatever his name is, starts with Buzzle. You have to catch a big one, 2.8 the size, feet or inches, whatever it is, I don't know.
You're talking about the orange seal.
Yes, the orange seal. He's a ferret, I believe, not a seal.
No, that's a seal. That's 100% a seal.
But I can't.
That's a water-dwelling creature, my friend.
I don't know if this is a lot or a little bit. I don't know. I've caught about 8 of them, and not one got to 2.7, but I need 2.8. And it's really frustrating me that I can't catch it. I don't think I'm gonna.
That's not what I'm talking. That's a side quest. That's not even what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I haven't caught enough Pokemon to move on with the main story.
Oh, that's easy though. Go back to the first area, catch like 15, and then you're good.
No. I'm on the second area. She wants more
in the second area specifically.
Yeah, okay. Those ones. I went last night. I tried. I'm going back in. It's gonna be fine.
Guys.
He's a weasel. He's not a weasel. That's clearly an orange seal.
No, it's a ferret.
Bob TV does not know what he's talking about. It's definitely not a ferret. It's a seal.
That is a ferret. It's a ferret. It's not a weasel. We can both agree it's not a weasel, right?
It's definitely not a weasel. It's a seal.
I'm glad we see it the same way. You know what else is not a weasel? Metroid Dread sales. How is that?
Not your greatest. Not your greatest.
So we're still going to talk about this. Is going to be a whole kind of one big conversation. We're gonna get to each topics here, but this is all one conversation. So we're moving on to Metroid Dread. We're still going to talk a little about Pokemon, and we're going to get to the Switch in just a second. But Metroid Dread, just to put in perspective too, because Metroid Dread sold great. Metroid Dread. Up to the 31st of December, Metroid Dread sold 2.74 million units. So that's 3 months of sales. That's fantastic.
That's crazy. Yeah,
That's
especially for a Metroid game.
yeah, that is
For a Metroid game, that's massive.
yes, that's fantastic. 3 months and 2.7 whatever, it's $2.74 million in sales. That's great. But just hopping back to this Pokemon article, I mean, 3 days. 3 days, 1.43 million in sales.
Right. But yeah, I mean, you got to remember that. I mean, you're comparing two things that are. I mean, we are watching right now with this Metroid game. We are watching Metroid start to move to a big level game. Metroid Prime 4, because of the sales of this game, I guarantee it's going to do. Oh man, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be big. It's going to be very big, I guarantee.
Yeah,
Just
man.
looking at the sales of this 2D Metroid game, I'm telling you right now,
Yeah,
Nintendo's got it now. They know how to. They figured out the hype machine finally. I think, honestly, I think they finally figured it out.
Metroid's back. That's kind of the moral of the story here is that Metroid.
Well, that's
is
the
back.
problem, dude. It never was here. Metroid's
Yeah.
always been kind of like a yeah. The Metroid fans are pumped about Metroid, but this is a whole nother thing right here. But you know why?
Why?
It's the Switch. Everything sells good on the Switch, man. Everything. It doesn't matter.
It's a magical console. It's magical.
It really is. It really
it's
is.
so hard to describe, especially for non-gamers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, and the thing about it is, the thing about the Switch is, the biggest reason why I think everything sells so good on the Switch is because there are so many people who haven't had a Switch or a Nintendo. I'm sorry, not a Switch, a Nintendo console, and not ever, but in a long time, that have seen, the success of the Switch and come back to Nintendo, and then they play, Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, whatever they're playing, and they're in. They're like, yes, this is great stuff. This is what I remember. It's, I don't know. It's kind of like a nostalgia thing for a lot of people, or at the same time, for a lot of people, it's the first time that they've been, even involved in Nintendo at all. But like I said earlier, Nintendo has figured out their marketing. They figured out this hype machine. They're doing it really, really well right now. Like, it's hard for me to not be excited about a first party Nintendo game right now.
Dude, I have a
All of them.
stack of my cartridges. And by the way, just to reiterate, these are cartridge sales. Physical cartridge sales, full price games, not including the digital
Are you sure
sales.
about that? Because this is from Nintendo, correct? These numbers were from Nintendo last night.
Yeah, but I thought they didn't release I thought they only released digital numbers.
I think they do here. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they do here. I know for like the other stuff that's not through them, I know they don't release digital sales. I'm not sure about here.
Okay, well, it doesn't really matter. It would just be more impressive if it did not include it. If it includes it, doesn't matter. It's incredibly impressive. I mean, Metroid Dread it almost won Game of the Year. Like, it was in running for Game of the Year in 2021.
I mean, a 2D Metroid game.
And I guarantee that Pokemon Legends Arceus is up for the running for the.
Well, you know what sucks about that?
For this
you know
year,
what sucks about that? I don't think it will be. Tell you the truth,
it's too early.
It might be. I hope it is. Yeah, same reason Monster Hunter wasn't nominated last year. Because it came out in March.
And Monster Hunter, man. Monster
Hunter's great.
It's a great game.
Monster Hunter Rise was amazing.
It's a great game. Games who get considered for those kinds of awards have body. It's just a multiplayer game, man. When it comes down to it.
No, it's not. You're wrong. It's amazing. It's good.
Why is it being a multiplayer game mean that it's not amazing? I didn't say it's not amazing. It's a multiplayer game. Those kind of games, like Candy Crush, that would, no pun intended, crush everything. But like, would that be up for Game of the Year? Oh man, it's like a little phone game.
Listen, Geeb,
the same kind of goes for this.
You don't like Monster Hunter.
It would win lots of awards. Did it not win awards? Any award? Because it should have. It should have won some awards, like some of the design awards.
I don't remember
something to that effect.
At the actual game, because that's the thing. Everybody takes the game awards as like, oh, this is the There's plenty of game award ceremonies that happen. This is just the one that everybody pays attention to for some reason.
If it didn't win some awards, it should have, because there are some things that are especially there should be a running on Switch award. The best running game on Switch with not sacrificing graphical quality. That should be an award. Maybe we should. Do you want to do our own award show at the end of 2022?
Ooh, that's not bad. If we have some really funny categories,
We
yes,
have a
I'm
whole
down
year.
with
We have
that.
a
That
whole year.
would
We have a whole year to play.
I
Nintendo
would
game.
love to do that,
The
actually.
Nintendo Game Awards. And that includes all games.
Ooh.
All games on the Nintendo platform, not just Nintendo game first parties.
Oh man, I love that. Okay. So let's get it started for sure. Anybody who has any categories,
Clip that so we don't forget.
some really fun categories, you guys can you can either put them on our Twitter, which is what?
At Drip G, baby.
There you go. You can do that, or you can I don't know, comment on one of my videos.
Did I do a Twitter? Let's find out. Did I do a Twitter command? I didn't. That's fine. I'll put the link in the podcast notes. Go add a beer of the week and also check it out. What did you want them to go there for besides to support us?
To give us ideas for categories for
Thank
our
you.
show.
There we go. I'm sorry. I was thinking. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
That's a great
that's
idea.
fine.
I love
Sorry.
that idea. No, don't apologize. It's I asked
that is a really good idea. I do love that idea.
listen. Ideas can happen live, people.
Can we call the can we call the trophies the GBs?
The GBs.
Can we call it the GBs?
And the
GB awards? Can we do that?
And the GB goes to.
I love that.
We need different amiibos for all the awards.
Oh, the GBs.
The GBs. I love it.
Fantastic. Love it.
The drippy GBs. The drippy
No,
GB
no,
goes to.
I'm good. No, the GBs.
Okay,
the
fine.
GB
I'll
awards.
I'll take that and keep it in my bag.
Yeah, that's great, dude. It's got to be the GBs.
And speaking of awards and notable things that are going on right now, we teased it. We're gonna get to it. Something came out recently. How soon did this? Was it today? The Switch. Anywho, Drip's like, huh? Nintendo Switch crushes Wii as sales surpass 100 million units sold.
Okay, you confused me in your wording there.
How could that possibly be?
It was today or yesterday, I guess, in Japan. It happened while we were all sleeping here in America.
Okay, fair enough.
I woke up to all this morning. I didn't usually I'm like plugged into that. Like when they have all these these investor meetings and stuff and everything that goes, I'm usually well ahead of it, but I've been preoccupied with other things lately.
So if you guys aren't familiar, I'll just read this little passage from CNET. Thank you, CNET. The Switch is now Nintendo's most popular console. It is now the third best-selling console overall in gaming history. Sony's PS2 is the most successful with sales of 155 million units, and the PS4 has sold 116.6 million. The Switch has sold, just to be clear, 103. What is it? 103 million point 45. Whatever. I've read that wrong. What am I trying to say? Points are hard. 103 million units sold for the Switch compared to that's second place. Third place is. I'm sorry, that is third place. Second place is PS4, and the PS2 is first place. I'm sorry, I couldn't get that out. That is insane.
Well, I can tell you this right now. Give me PS4. Let's just say this right now. We're going to talk about how amazing this is anyway. But I want to say right now, this thing's easily going to pass the PS4 at this point.
At this point?
It's rolling so hard right now. Like, I remember a year ago, I was like, it's never going to get to... I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. But now, it's like, there's no way it can't at this point. There's no way.
I mean,
it could honestly get to PS2 levels at this point. Like, we are in the area to... Especially if they put out a revision and it's still a Switch.
We're about 10 million units away from being second place all time. I mean, only 10 million. We just need like a Switch Lite revision of OLED, and boom, there you go.
I think we're gonna get that. I think we're also gonna get, because that's the thing. You have to remember this too. With PS4, you're counting the Slim.
Yep.
You're counting the Pro.
Yep.
You're counting all that. So
it's a fair comparison.
Switch Lite, Switch OLED, Switch Lite OLED, Switch Pro. All those count. I mean, I don't see how it can't happen at this point. I think they're
destined. It's destined, sir.
I think so. I think that's going to be easy. The PS2, I don't know. But before we even talk about that, let's reflect on this. This is what I woke up this morning and took in kind of internally. I was talking about it out loud a little bit too, but go back and look at what the Wii U sold.
Okay.
What is it? I think it's 13 million. I may be a little off
Oh
there.
yeah, yep. They're about right. 13 million.
13 million. Nintendo was about to die.
A death.
The Switch was a Hail Mary. A Hail Mary. Like, if this doesn't work, and even Reggie said it. Reggie has said it in interviews. Like, the Switch was this might be the end of consoles from Nintendo.
That was
Depending on how this goes.
less than 10 years ago. Or was it 10 years ago?
It doesn't matter.
At the point where they
over 100 million at this point. And your last console sold 13 million. Like, just putting that into perspective with those numbers, the turnaround it's insane, dude. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy when you think about it like that, and you look at, like, again, the success of the Wii, because that's what we just passed.
Yep.
And then the complete failure of the Wii U, which obviously we've talked about this several times. Bad marketing.
Yep.
One, terrible marketing. I didn't even know what it was. I've said that several times. Because that, I was into the Wii, and then, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with this, moving on, doing my thing. Wasn't paying attention. Obviously not nearly as locked into the gaming community and everything going on, then as I am now. So I come back, I'm like, oh, what's this? What is this thing Nintendo's is this a new controller for the Wii? Because I'm slightly confused on what this actually is. Even I was confused. Once I realized what it was, Matt Moran had one at his house, and I was like, okay, actually, that's kind of cool. I'm getting one of these. That's really awesome, actually.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I'll let you continue.
But it took me that long to even realize what it was. The marketing was terrible. They messed that up so bad.
Yeah. So I want to some notes I want to bring up from what you just said. So the Wii U itself, forget about sales numbers and everything like that. The Wii U itself, not a failure. Without the Wii U,
it's great.
Without the Wii U, there'd be no Switch. So let's just get that right off the top of the right here. Like,
I agree with that 100%.
There's no Switch on the Wii because the Wii U was the prototype. It was the prototype that they released.
Honestly was, because that's what they want. They wanted it to be a dockable. That's the thing. They never really made a huge deal about what the Wii U could do. Because actually, for those of you who didn't have, get out of here, Matt Moran. It was not hot garbage. You're hot garbage. Anyway, so for the people who didn't have one, something that they did in the marketing a little bit, they showed it, but like nobody really talked about it, is you could just take it to the tablet. Take it off the TV. Somebody else could watch TV while you're sitting there on the tablet. The problem was it was still running off the system. So you couldn't go very far. Like, you couldn't even walk upstairs. It would disconnect.
Right. That
was the issue.
They got to at least had to get it within your whole house. Your whole house, you should be able to keep it underneath your entertainment center in your living room and go to your bedroom and play. That's the very least they could have done. They didn't get that done. So again, like, it was without the
did you just send them to follow Matt Moran?
Yeah. I thought that's a funny joke. Go follow Matt Moran on Twitch. Whatchamacallit. So the Wii U was a very necessary console. Without the Wii U, there'd be no Switch. All the success, it was a prototype of the Switch itself. I mean, guys, like, handheld and console gaming hybrid wasn't really a concept until the Wii U, at least not successful, if you want to call it successful. But yeah, man, like, it was so nuts. The Wii U was a necessary failure to make the Switch.
Well, I think it taught him a lot, especially when it comes to to clear marketing. And now we're coming up on that again. Now, okay, so let's think about this. We've now passed the Wii. The next step is to pass the PS4, which I think at this point that's going to be pretty easy to do at this point.
Before you move on, there's one more quick note I wanted to make of the Wii U, is that the games on the Wii U were fantastic because they're all on Switch now, and they sold way better on Switch than they ever did on the Wii U. So it wasn't like the games were also not the problem. The Wii U,
There's never been a Nintendo game problem.
If you had a Wii U, you loved it. There's
Yeah.
no way you had a Wii U and like this is trash because the games
Unless you're Matt Moran.
Unless you're
'cause he
Matt
was playing
Moran.
Batman on
Matt
it.
Moran who
Like,
doesn't have a Switch, so you never needed a Wii U apparently because you don't like the Switch either, which is a way better version of the Wii U. But the games on there, the games were a great experience, and the Wii U itself was an amazing concept. If you got a Wii U, you were probably happy with it. So like again, just reiterating the fact that was so necessary for them to do, because all those games are still on the Switch and they're selling hotcakes, selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, all of them sell great, and a lot of them they didn't even do anything to. They just straight poured it over. But listen, why the hell wouldn't you? You think about it, it's like, why would you not? All these sold. You're talking about 13 million consoles out there to try to sell these games that they put so much money into, so much time into, and they are. You're right. They're 100% right about that. They're great games. All of them are really good, but they sold like dog shit.
Yes.
Like, why would you not take them to the console that's actually selling and try to resell them again? Because that's the thing. People like, I don't know. I've played some of them, but even for me, like I had a Wii U, but you know why I got a Wii U? Because I was waiting for Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
That's why I bought a Wii U, to be honest.
And
ended up playing it on the Switch anyway. But
you were also waiting for Pikmin 3, don't lie.
No, it's not. I was definitely not.
You were waiting for that.
But the thing about it is, they took those games, which again, great games, and actually made money. Like Nintendo has done this whole generation, and I kind of consider the Wii U and the Switch still in the same generation. I know it's not technically like that, but it is. The Switch was the redo. Like, yeah, we fucked this up pretty bad. Let's go ahead and let's just cut our losses and move all these games we just made over here. And you're right, they're all selling so well. But for honestly, and I can say it pretty accurately at this point, for 90% of the people on the platform, these are brand new games. They're brand new games.
Yep.
I mean, they're just, they finally figured it out, man. I think they finally figured it out. Now, here's the thing I wanted to say that you kind of cut me off earlier where I was trying to go. We watched them do what they did with the Wii to the Wii U and just confuse people and completely screw it up. Because the Wii, they were killing it. Obviously, we know. 100 million units sold. It was great. We watched them completely screw that up with marketing.
Yep.
Now we're coming up on a time now where I think, and again, not saying anything like I know anything. These are not leaks. These are nothing like that. In my opinion, I think this year we get a Switch Lite OLED. Okay? I think that's gonna just keep it rolling right there. I think next year, probably early next year, maybe mid-year, we're going to get a revised version. And it's still going to be the Switch. I don't think they're going to call it anything but a Switch something. If they screw this marketing up, though, if they try to make this thing something that it's not, like it's possible. We've watched them do it. I really hope that they've learned from those mistakes. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Because we watched them come from the highest place they've been to literally the lowest place they've been in one generation.
Yep. All very true.
It was looking back on it now, almost sad to watch, but
well, it's sad to watch at the beginning, but now look where we're at. Like, luckily,
hell of a recovery.
We're not
hell of a recovery.
We're not on the way down. We are on the way up. So, like, we started with Wii U being like, wow, this could be the end, and now we're like looking up, and like the problem though is that you can only go down from here. You can go up. I should say not only down. Sorry, not only down. You can't we're at a crossroads right now. Like they've hit this is their peak. Now,
right, with what we have, unless you get
this is the peak. You can go high. The peak can grow. The peak can absolutely grow. We can keep going, which we will. We will. The sales will go. The problem comes that year after year after year they delay a Switch revision that has better performance. The more they delay that, the more of a chance.
That's when you'll see it. Yeah, that's when you'll see it.
It's not going to be drastic. It's not like the Wii U going to the Switch, boom. We're not going to see another boom down for sure. There's no way. But we're kind of we can go up, but then like how slowly are we gonna start going up, and then eventually the slowness is gonna start to it's gonna go to a stop.
No, I
And
100% agree.
We're gonna flatline.
We're at a point now where
We're
it's like you've. I think they know that though.
They do.
I think they've taken what they've learned from that entire situation. I feel like it's already being applied better. Like there's nothing in the marketing of the Switch at all that is confusing.
Nope.
They are very clear.
There's one thing. They're very clear in one thing. Joy-Cons can be their own controller. In every ad we ever made, here's a Joy-Con, but holding it sideways, and you're gonna get tendonitis. Wee.
Yeah. Why the hell wouldn't they? They have to. But even this, like this is the one thing where I thought they would really screw it up, and they didn't. Because I made videos on it at the time too. Because I was like, people are gonna be so confused about this. They weren't. I mean, most people weren't. But when they brought the Switch Lite out, and it was like, well, it doesn't dock, but it's still called a Switch. I was like, oh no, is this it? Is this the time when they're gonna confuse everybody and fuck this whole thing up? They didn't. They explained it very well. But that was at the point when I was like, uh-oh, a Switch that doesn't switch.
They're done for.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, here we go again. We go again. But from the very first piece of marketing they put out, they were very clear about what it does, about what it does not do. I mean, you can't ask for much more. I mean, who gives a fuck if it's called a Switch and it doesn't switch? Plays all the same games. Yep. But you got all that from the marketing. I think that's what they've learned in this whole thing.
That's the Switch Lite selling point. It's that it doesn't switch, sure, but that's not the selling point. The selling point is that it plays the same games.
It plays the same exact games
at
the exact same
price that is now $150 cheaper than the normal Switch. Which what a deal!
Yeah, even at $100, it was like, okay, yeah. I mean, on a budget, or for a little kid,
Yeah, exactly.
If you're like, my kid's gonna screw this thing up.
Yeah,
it's gonna smash it.
Like my nephew.
Happen.
My nephew who constantly plays Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, and he also plays Yoshi's Crafted World. He's 4. He's knocking that thing all over the place. It's sticky and gross, but that's exactly what that thing's for. For those little kids who their parents are like, I'm not spending $300 on a fragile thing.
Oh, now $350
on a fragile non-unibody device. Now,
Yeah, you're 100% right. Let's look forward a little bit. Let's put a bow on this. Let's look forward. You've heard my predictions. It's just I don't know. It's not even a prediction. It's just what I feel. It makes sense. Like the OLED is a clear. If you have one, if you know, right? If you know. That's kind of how you got to say it. There's no way you're going to know how much better the OLED is unless you have one or unless you've played one, because it is that much better. I feel like the next logical step is the light OLED, right?
Yeah, I think I said that first before you, like for sure, 100%. Like
I think that it has to be.
In my mind, there's no doubt in my mind we're getting a Switch Lite OLED in 2022. There's no way that we're not. How can we not? Like Nintendo has already said and reiterated that this is the halfway point of the Switch, and we just came off of a little revision last year with the OLED, but that's not going to stop another. There's a gaping hole in the lineup right now where that Switch, normal Switch, the $300 Switch V2 and V1 is 100% is discontinued. It will be discontinued this year.
1,000%.
This year it's getting discontinued, and it's going to be and it's getting replaced with the Switch Lite OLED, and the regular Switch Lite is also going to be discontinued. They're going to do that at the same time. Switch Lite is discontinued. The Switch normal V2 is discontinued.
I don't think it'll be the same time. I think they'll use the same tactic. It's still here, because you have to think about this.
Makes sense.
They're still making them. They're still manufacturing these Switch Lite units. They're not just going to let them sit. They got to sell them off. I mean, they may change the manufacturing process over to Switch OLED, but they're not just going to let these things sit. They're going to let them go. They haven't done that right now. They're still making regular Nintendo Switch units, as far as I know. I mean,
it's not. No, that would have been news if it was discontinued.
Yeah,
you would have seen the clickbait of the Switch is discontinued. Like you would have saw that.
Oh yeah, I would have used that one. That's a good one. Yeah. I actually, never mind. I will use that one.
Yeah,
can't wait till that
hasn't happened yet.
The face will be.
Yeah, the same face you have for everything.
Ooh. Man, it works. Whatever. Don't give me shit. It's fine.
I want to bring up another interesting topic on the relation here of the Switch sales because I just want to kind of get your thoughts on it and kind of bring up the talking point here. Go back to the screen here once again to Chrome. Just read this little passage from CNET. The Switch sales have also been hampered by production changes created by the global chip shortage, which with Nintendo previously cutting its Switch sales forecast for 2021 by 1.5 million consoles. So they themselves have said that they've reduced 1.5 million in sales because of the chip shortage.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember when they told investors that.
Yeah. 6 months.
I don't remember exactly when it was, but yeah.
Q3 sometime.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So here's my thought, and just another thought for you guys. So they're not Xbox and a PlayStation. Now, Xbox and PlayStation, especially Xbox, mainly Xbox, their sales and their numbers and their success kind of relies on Game Pass very heavily.
Right. They're not nearly as concerned about console sales.
And we're not and it doesn't that means that it doesn't involve physical sales. Their success does not hinge on console sales and physical game sales because Game Pass can be played on existing PCs and existing Xbox consoles.
Yeah, well, I mean, and plus xCloud can be played on a damn phone.
And on a phone. PlayStation, the PlayStation Now, I believe it's called, that can be played on PS4, correct?
Yeah.
So again,
Are you talking about their streaming service?
Whatever their gaming streaming thing is.
Yeah, so you can stream
whatever
it, but
they
it's
offer.
Like it's not.
Yeah. So like,
it's streaming from your console. Like I could stream Spider-Man from my PS4 on my phone, but it's streaming from my house, not from their servers.
Okay. I wasn't trying to compare the two because I know that much that PlayStation, it's not nearly as heavily on that, like, you know, play on a device, like you need pretty much a PS4. You need to already have a PS4 or a PS5.
Well, we'll see. They're going that way too.
But digital sales for sure. Like I'm sure PlayStation is mostly digital. The PS5 digital was $100 cheaper. It was very enticing for a lot of people who play PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got an Xbox Series S.
Yeah.
I don't care about physical games.
So less so for Sony, but I'm kind of focusing more on Game Pass here because that's the more interesting conversation. Nintendo doesn't have anything like that. Nothing like of that. You and it's not like you can use an old Wii U to play current Switch games. You know, a lot of them are Wii U games. We just talked about that, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
To play current Switch games, even like especially like Metroid Dread and Arceus, you need to have a brand new Switch, the ones that come out. So like it relied on a physical sale purchase within the last 5 years, and also required you actually, you know, either go physically or go online to a store and buy a cartridge or the eShop. But a lot of people buying cartridges. But the main thing is a new console.
Digital.
Like all this success is because off a new console, and not off of a streaming platform like Game Pass. Like I want to have that conversation with you. Like,
okay, so I get what you're saying. You're saying that they can't abandon this right now.
Oh.
Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Not
like,
really.
There's too many people already in.
No,
the cartridge.
It's extra. No. My point is that it's extra impressive that they're having this success when people like they needed to sell consoles.
Okay,
and they're selling physical games. The two things the other companies can't do, for one, they can't sell consoles because they sell it way too fast.
Right. Well, and now I know Sony's having even more problems now. Like the problems with the PS5. They're not getting better anytime soon. At least at this point, you can find a Series S in stores. Like you're not going to be able to find a PS5 in a store for probably another year.
At least
another year. At least. And that's the thing. You can walk. Here anyway.
Yeah, I've seen them in my area too.
Depending, like the other day, I saw the pink Switch Lite. And then I had to go to Walmart or something the other day, and I saw they had the regular Switch, the red box Switch,
V2?
which still don't recommend buying. Just get the OLED.
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, I mean they're there. You walk, you know, around. There's not a lot to get. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing about all that too. You're looking at manufacturing processes that are completely different. I mean, they're not all. It's a manufacturing process, but you're talking about the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S that are using fairly new parts, fairly new stuff that's a little more difficult to get a hold of.
For sure.
And then you look at the Switch and you're using parts from 2015 that are stockpiled on shelves. That's why you see the V2 still out in stores pretty easily. That's why they've made the Animal Crossing version available. That's why they've made, the versions that are still sitting out there everywhere
Yep.
because they had so much of that stuff. I think the one that we're going to see the problem with is the OLED. But even that, at this point, it's got the same internals.
It does.
And it's not like this OLED screen is cutting edge. It's just a regular
it's a modern
7-inch OLED screen.
modern panel with at 720p resolution, which is not modern. It's
And that's not in high demand anywhere.
no. Even
So-
even like your Walmart tablets are probably using 1080p.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's not like they're using parts that are difficult to source. I mean, yes, everything's difficult to source now. I understand that. But these are much less difficult parts for them to get a hold of than what, Sony's trying to do and what Microsoft's trying to do with their consoles.
Yeah.
So I think think about it, dude. They changed their projections by 1 million. Like someone 100 like, "Oh no." Oh, like it wasn't even an issue, dude.
No.
It
yeah.
wasn't even an issue.
All I'm trying to say is that it's really impressive that they're able to do this.
Yes, it is.
Well, they need to sell consoles to do this, and they need you to buy their games, and they kind of, they're wanting you to buy their physicals. Like that's why they still do it.
The most interesting thing I think about it is the fact that Nintendo gets shit on for using the big thing with Nintendo is they use old, well-established
Technology.
things in hardware. You know what I mean? Like well-established things. Like if there's something with motion controls, like when they started using motion controls, like that was in other things. It was already well established in other things. They took it and perfected it for what they do. That's what they do. They take older things and they do it in a new, fresh way. And then they give it to that's what they've done forever. That's what they're doing now. And right now in the world we live in, it's kind of benefiting them because they're not the ones looking for all these brand new parts. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are like, well, they're a little harder to get, but for a lot of the stuff, I mean, I would say 90% of the parts they're looking for are stockpiled in warehouses at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I know exactly what you mean. Actually, I'm bringing up a video here that Spawnwave did not too long ago. It may play some audio. I'm sorry, guys.
At this point,
yeah, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Actually, I don't know if I can. Actually, I can. I'm lying. I'm gonna pull a picture. This is last second. I just kind of thought of this. But as you're talking, it's reminding me of something I watched in Spawnwave recently. This is a video of his. I'll mute that. As Spawnwave, thank you for letting me play your video. Don't take me down. So here this is a console Nintendo released in the 90s after the SNES already came out. They re-released this console that was an original original NES in a different body. So
wow.
the video,
where did they release that at?
They released the SNES, I believe, was out for like.
This was clearly a weekend Spawnwave video.
Yes.
I never
January
watched this.
30th. January 30th. I was watching this the other day. I thought it was really interesting. But Nintendo,
I've never seen that. That's very interesting.
What's super crazy? They released an NES while the SNES was currently available. They threw this out there because they had the parts, and we're like, we're just gonna kind of make it a little smaller. Actually, here's later in the video, he tears it down like Spawnwave does, and he actually puts it in some pieces. I'm gonna show that right here. Take a look at this thing, and guys, the audio listeners, I will link this into the podcast.
Yeah, I haven't seen this video. This is very interesting.
Here it is. I can't speak. I'm not drunk. I promise. Here it is in all of its separate pieces. It's a very simple console. I mean, they took an SNES, or sorry, I'm gonna keep saying that. They took a Nintendo Entertainment System and simplified it, shrunk it down into a smaller chassis, and sold it for $50 in the 90s, which equates to about $90 to $100 in current money. So like basically a Switch Lite here, kind of, sort of, pricing wise, but very a full NES console while the SNES was having success and was out. So they've been doing this kind of thing for a while. I mean, this is in a weird way, not exactly the same, but this is kind of like an OLED situation. Like,
also in a weird way, but not the exact situation, a 3DS to 2DS situation.
yeah, like they've been, it's almost like they've done this before.
Yeah, the 2DS came after the simplified version of it with no 3D came after. Not the it wasn't the upgraded to not a 2DS to a 3DS. It was let's take a step back. I don't know about you. I like the 2DS better.
I haven't even held one before, so I got to try that at some point here.
I have the Hylian Shield one up there. On the
you
shelf.
got a
No
lot of
big deal.
stuff. You got the fancy Majora's Mask glowing thing over there too. I see. Just a fancy boy. But I think it's like really interesting that they did that with a past console in a current generation. They took actually it's kind of it's similar to what PlayStation's doing right now. They're re-releasing the PS4 for a time or permanently, right?
Because they have parts.
They have the parts. Now they're
Why
not. They're not changing the design. Nintendo straight up changed the design. Apparently,
right, we've seen that. We've seen that 1,000 times. They did it with. They've done with everything. They did it with They put out the Wii. What was that thing called? It was red. It had nothing. It was bare bones Wii. Had nothing.
But this is the equivalent of re-releasing the Wii U, though. Like that this is the Wii U reincarnated, but this is
if
the
it
NES.
happened now. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because
the Switch,
the Switch is basically the S Wii U, an S Wii U, essentially. It really that's what the Switch is.
A Wii U.
A Wii U, and re-releasing the Wii U would be like a Max S Wii U. I don't know. I don't know.
We're getting in there now. We're getting in the weeds.
But like, imagine Nintendo right now will release a Wii U but enhanced for half the price of a Switch.
That'd kind of be cool, actually.
That'd be great, and that's what Nintendo did in the '90s, which is really interesting. They've been doing.
Cool.
They do weird stuff. They do weird stuff all the time, and they use old parts to make current consoles. They do that all the time.
No, I mean, and you can't. You never know what Nintendo's gonna do.
You never know, man. You never know. Thank you, Spotlight, for the video.
One thing about Nintendo.
What do we know?
They will put out a Nintendo Direct in September every year,
and they're gonna release a Nintendo Zelda Direct in September. And with that being said, we're gonna get to the after show. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out today. Patrons, thank you for being patron supporters. And also, you guys get to see this before anybody else. Actually, Twitch will. I lied. Don't listen to me. Patrons, you get to see this after the stream is over. You guys are awesome. We're going to see you guys in the after show. But for now, we will catch you guys next week.
Peace!